Life on Paper, and thank you so much for joining me. And welcome to Leftover to Layouts. Now this is by the idea of Kristen from Scrapping on the Fly, where there's not a lot of rules. You take your leftovers and you make a layout. So my last video, I had used this paper pack by Close to My Heart, and I went to make another one, and I picked out a sketch, and I don't have enough papers, and I picked out like I don't know, 2 or 3 more paper collections. I don't have enough papers, so I went into my stash, and I have this paper pad that I've pulled apart, and I've got lots of papers, lots and lots and lots and lots of papers to pick from. And so then I picked out just a different array of colors. Mostly they're full sheets, and I'll explain why in a minute. This one is a partial, and I thought I would just explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. So these pictures are from, we went to a wedding show in Milwaukee. Jillian is getting married next year, and there's a lot of glare, and I apologize. And we went out to a brewery afterwards, and these are the photos that I have. Now, these were those lovely B-reels where I did trim off quite a bit of the photo to make it 4x4 so that you don't see the kind of the app wording and stuff on there. So based on that, I found a sketch. It's a paid sketch from Scrapbook Generation with 4 4x4 photos. So I'm going to trim these down. And then the other thing is that the pieces that go behind them to make a 2-page layout, you need 5x5 pieces of paper. And that's why I couldn't use those little scraps of paper. So I'm going to get out my big trimmer. I think there are 3 different pattern papers. 2 of them have 3 5x5 papers, and 1 of them has 2 5x5. So I thought this will be good for the 2 5x5, which will bring in all these colors. And then I just have to choose 2 different ones. The wood grain called to me because of, I guess, it being a brewery. And I was just gonna look for another sheet. I always like polka dots. I like these chevrons. I like this colorful one. I could pull this out instead of that one. I like the idea of using this because it is a scrap of paper. I've got other polka dots. We could go more red. We've got these chevrons. We could do another colorful one. What are we thinking? This one's got a little bit of yellow in it. We could get away from the red completely. I shouldn't say red completely, but we could go get rid of this one and do something more like that and lighten it up. I kind of like that because we've got yellow over here. I'm very color scrapbooker. We've got the yellow of the beer. We've got, the only thing is that these lines are running similar to these lines. This doesn't have the yellow in it, and I would like something with yellow in it. I could run those that way and this that way. I really like that combination of those 3. Try one more thing. Or I could look through my others. My other, ooh, there's butterflies. I didn't see this before. Butterflies might work. Ooh, I like butterflies. Yeah, I think I like this combination. I think this is what we're going with. Okay, well, let's get scrapping. So I pulled out these, that bright orange paper, as you can see. It actually matches one of the butterflies in that paper, but it's awfully bright. So you have to tell me what you think about it. I do have a lot of this color of this bright red orange in my stash. first I trim down those photos. I need them 4x4. So what I usually do is go, I don't want to take too much off one side or the other, so let me carefully get to 4 inches by taking some off the top and the bottom, and maybe a little bit more off the bottom, and I'll maybe a little bit off the top until I get to where it's 4 inches and I'm happy with it. Next, I trim down my paper so I have those 5x5 pieces. This is a pretty simple, straightforward sketch. It's a very scrapbook generation sketch. And it's one that I will use over and over again and make it different each time with the embellishments. I end up using my Cricut for embellishments and my title, so you'll see that coming up too. And then I was pretty proud of myself because once I got these papers laid out, normally I lay them out randomly just as it is in the sketch. I don't know if other people do that too or not, but I will look to see, because in a scrapbook generation sketch it's black and white, but it is definitely shaded so you can tell the same pattern paper and where they lay. I did not look this time. I just laid them down randomly. I have a very hard time with random because what if my random isn't the right random? So, and even looking at this during the voiceover, I see that, and I don't have any of the papers next to each other that are the same, but I do have those 2 green in the same row, which I guess you're going to because there's 3 of them, so I will get over that. And that polka dot paper I end up using for framing the photos. And the scrapbook generation sketch does give the exact dimensions for each of those pieces of paper and the paper to back the photos with. I wasn't sure what to use for the embellishments for this, but I think it turned out really cute in the end. So I'm just getting all the pieces cut out, and then I'll go ahead and glue them down. I do round the corners on both the photo mats and the 5x5 papers that go on the corners. And it's pretty straightforward, just gluing them down. And with these 5x5 size, not only with the 5x5 size, but with the photos overlapping, you don't have to be too precise with your trimming. Sometimes when you're trimming up pieces of paper to kind of make a collage out of, they have to really be spot on so that they line up well. But with this, you have a little room for error because you can tuck your errors underneath the photo mat. And I love these papers. I really like these papers. They're bright enough. They're not, I mean, they're pastel-y, but yet there's bright in there too. I am hoping to use them once more this month, if not twice more, for more leftovers to layouts pages. So be watching for those. I will have linked below the people that are playing along. There's no set time when you have to play along, so people are just coming in and out as they're able to. Some people more than others, like myself, who this is only the second one I'm doing this month. I use a lot of my kind of leftovers anyway. I have a lot of old stash, and I kind of laugh when people say that, their old stash is from 2020 because my old stash is more like from 2002, but, to each their own, right? And that's such a cool thing about this hobby is that there are no rules, and you can use what you have and use what you like. And what you like can be from 2002, and especially when you mix it with stuff that's newer. I could have gone into my color boxes and pulled out things for this layout, labels and who knows what, film strips and different things, but chose to go to Cricut and pulled up some beer things, which you're going to see in a moment, and it was super fun to do, and I love the way it came out. I used the drawing option. I can't wait to show you. So here I am just lining up my photos and getting it so that it looks straight across the page. Here I cut out some of these like journaling type blocks. Two of them actually back the embellishments, and one is more of a journaling space on the bottom there. So this one will have embellishments over it, as well as this one will have embellishments over it. And you can see my title is Day Drinking Squad, and it's in that nice pastel color as well. And then here I had the cricket, and it cut out almost like a shadow to these. So that was kind of fun. And then right there are two beer mugs clinking next to the journaling space. And that one says cold beer. It has a glass with it. And then over here it says best beer, best taste. It looks like a bottle cap next to the beer glass. And then I'm going to glue down my title. Try to figure out where I want it. Put it over there. And then I do decide it needs something more. These little journaling spots, or the embellishments, just aren't doing it, although they're adorable and I love them. So I get out these gems or jewels that I have, and I get those down in the 3 different clusters and put them in groups of 3, getting those out of my stash. I do have a couple left over. And then after that, I will get out my white splatters for just a little extra something something. Just a little fun touch of something that something interesting. And I put them over the embellishments in all 3 of those spots. And that's it. That is all I've got. I love the way this turns out. Let me know what you think of that bright background I have on there. You probably either love it or not. I will see you again soon for another video.